guys? Your boy Benny. We live in an insanely dangerous world. It is important to always have a connection with reality, and the reality is the earth has always been a cruel place to live. It always will be. Society sort of acts as a comforting therapy blanket, an illusion that we're all safe at all times. That's absolutely not true. There have been 7 presidents who have been shot. One just a couple months ago. 4 of them have died in office from their wounds and assassins' bullets. And so if the presidents aren't safe, well, are we really that safe? The number one story in the world right now is a very powerful CEO named Brian Thompson. He was 50 years old. He was UnitedHealthcare's chief officer, and he was killed by an assassin in New York City. The authorities have now come out and said it. An assassin with a handgun and silencer on it, professional equipment, walked up and shot this guy dead. You see the photo right here. Brian Thompson was killed by a man wearing a hood using a suppressor pistol, was set to testify before Congress over UnitedHealthcare's hacks, as well as their business practices. Gun control fails every single time. Incredible. UnitedHealthcare's disturbing track record of rejecting claims has come under the spotlight as CEO was shot dead and believed to be a targeted attack. It was absolutely a targeted attack. Listen, when you're dealing with healthcare, it's obviously going to be a dodgy business. It always has been. But holy smokes, like this is, I mean, I've never seen anything like this. It's like third world. I've never seen anything like it. The video is shocking. You can find it all over social media. This is a video of a professional assassin killing someone. CEO of America's largest healthcare insurance company was shot and killed by a mass attacker outside of a Manhattan hotel on Wednesday morning. UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson was gunned down at 6:45 a.m. in Midtown, hours before New Yorkers gathered in the neighborhood for the annual Christmas tree lighting of Rockefeller Center. Thompson was fatally shot in the chest and leg in a targeted attack, the killer then fleeing down 6th Avenue on a bicycle. NYPD have launched a huge manhunt to catch the subject, who is believed to have escaped into Central Park. Witnesses said that the suspected gunman was waiting outside of the hotel before the shooting and knew which door Thompson was going to emerge from before shooting him point-blank range. Footage showed NYPD officers performing CPR on the married father of 2, oh, it's awful, before he was rushed to Mount Sinai Hospital, critical condition. He was pronounced dead. Thompson was named UnitedHealthcare CEO in 2021 and earned a reported $10 million a year. And for several years prior, he ran a Medicare business within UnitedHealthcare. He was also slated to speak at an investor meeting at the Hilton. I've stayed at this Hilton like a number of times. I know exactly where this is. I've stayed inside this hotel. This is the hotel where Donald Trump had his victory party in 2016. Crazy. According to the release from UnitedHealthcare on Tuesday, he was announced the company would be hugely profitable. 2025 financial outlook, including expected revenues of upward of $450 billion. With the suspect still at large, NYPD announced a $10,000 reward for anybody with information. Holy smokes. So this is insane. What a country that we live in. Look at this. He had a suppressor, and then he flees. I find it particularly fascinating that anybody, so here's where the killing took place, and then he fled into Central Park, which is, the largest inner city park in the world, right? The largest park in a city in the world. And it was Central Park's massive. So I guess you really could escape into Central Park, I suppose. Thompson lived in Minnesota. He knew Tim Walz, a dude who had an unfortunate job of running with Kamala Harris for president. He was in New York to give a presentation. Holy smokes. Okay, so what's the deal here? What is the motivation to kill a CEO? There's rich CEOs everywhere, right? There's rich CEOs everywhere. I'll tell you this. This is why Elon Musk travels with so much security. Elon Musk has an army with him everywhere he goes. We've seen it. CEO of UnitedHealth was fatally shot in the chest. Brian Thompson is his name. The reason why this happened is still unclear, but he was facing a opportunity to testify before Congress because United Health is currently under DOJ investigation. He also apparently defrauded some investors, which always pisses a lot of people off. Surveillance photos of suspect Brian Thompson shooting. A lot of people have been defrauded. A lot of people lost millions, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. Brian Thompson has been accused of insider trading and demanded to be investigated by the SEC just a few months before he was gunned down. This comes amid revelations that Thompson and other executives were involved in insider trading, selling $100 million worth of stock during a federal probe without notifying investors. That's a big no-no, obviously. It doesn't merit this, but you have to effectively look at people who would be upset about this. He was facing a DOJ investigation, a lawsuit. What are the details of that lawsuit? Let's go.
You've all heard that the UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson was fatally shot in Manhattan. I believe that Brian Thompson was targeted. This was an assassination. But why? Well, I'm sure a lot of theories are going to come out over the next couple days as what this guy was into. But one of the ones that's not really been talked about, and it's really hard to find now, obviously because he was shot, was that UnitedHealthcare and Brian Thompson, the CEO, they were all under investigation from the DOJ. The DOJ is suing UnitedHealthcare because they are trying to buy Amnodize, which is the giant home health care company. That's not why investors and people of power would be upset. The reason that they are upset is because UnitedHealthcare knew that it was coming under investigation, and instead of calling its investors and the people that are invested in their company and letting them know, hey, this investigation's coming down the pipe, you probably should sell your stock, CEO Brian Thompson and Chief Accounting Officer Tom Ruse had sold all their stock off. Actually, a lawsuit from an unnamed defendant against Brian Thompson and UnitedHealthcare as a whole for doing this exact thing and causing the plaintiff, who again is unnamed, to lose millions and millions of dollars. Saying that UnitedHealthcare was aware of the DOJ investigation since at least October 2023, and instead of disclosing the material investigation to investors and the public, UnitedHealth sold more than $120 million of personally held UnitedHealthcare shares. 4 months between learning about the DOJ investigation and the investigation becoming public, UnitedHealth Chairman Stephen Hemsley sold over $102 million of his personally held UnitedHealthcare shares, and Brian Thompson, the CEO of UnitedHealthcare, sold over $15 million of his personal shares, stating that they had purchased UnitedHealth common stock at an artificially inflated price during the class period and suffered damages as the result of violations of the federal securities laws alleged here. All these stock sales and all of this investigation stuff actually happened in 2023, but the truth did not come out about it until February 27, 2024, when the Wall Street Journal reported that the DOJ had reopened its antitrust investigation into UnitedHealth. After the disclosure, the price of UnitedHealth stock declined by $27 per share, erasing nearly $25 billion in shareholder revenue. In the first part of December, and the CEO of UnitedHealth, who made a ton of money off this whole deal by basically inflating and then dumping the stocks, is now dead. I'd be pretty pissed off, too. I don't know that I'd go murderous, but I'd be pretty mad. I'm just saying.
Corporate espionage. By the way, that video compliments of a shipwreck. The Shipwreck Show. Follow his account. She makes great content. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. A question. Was this a hit job? The answer, yes, it absolutely was. Not only is there video of it happening from a sophisticated and cold-hearted murder, the assassin clearly knowing what they were doing. I mean, obviously, the question for many people is this a random act of violence? NYPD saying, no, it is not. This is a professional hit job. The motive for the murder is currently unknown, but based on the evidence we have so far, it does appear that the victim was strategically targeted and does seem that he's proficient in the use of firearms. Well, yeah, obviously. This person was prepared and had a getaway plan. Really, really sinister stuff. What, like you can see here. Here's the pathway into Central Park, and then you just kind of disappear. Have you ever been to Central Park? It's massive, massive. Now, the federal government, of course, will send you a 8K photo of your license plate if you run a stop sign with a bill attached to it. But of course, the best we have of the murderer is this grainy footage. Hopefully they get more on this. This is clearly not the way to settle disputes. This is what separates us from the animals. This is what separates us from the third world. This also shows you exactly how close President Trump was to actually being shot, right? There are proficient hitmen out there. They certainly exist. It's not just stuff of Hollywood movies. It's going to be very interesting tracking this. What the hell happened? We'll see. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe for more breaking news. See ya.